And this morning, President Trump is taking credit for the safest year on record in commercial aviation worldwide. Since taking office, I have been very strict on commercial aviation. Good news, it was just reported that there were 0 deaths in 2017, the best and safest year on record. Those are President Trump's words via Twitter. So I want to bring in Tom Costello. He covers aviation for NBC News and joins us from D.C. Tom, no fatal commercial airliner crashes anywhere in the world last year. How unusual is that?
It's very unusual, but notice all the caveats you just put in that sentence. No fatal commercial aviation accidents. So there were crashes last year. There were commercial airliner crashes last year, but no large commercial airliner crashes anywhere in the world that killed anybody. You can parse all of this out. There were, for example, cargo planes that crashed. There were for-hire planes that crashed. There were commercial planes that crashed, but none of them completed that picture. What's really remarkable here is that we have had a string of years. So the president taking credit now for all of this. But the truth is, in the United States, we haven't had a fatal commercial airliner crash involving a U.S. carrier since 2009. That was the Colgan Air crash, you may recall, up in upstate New York, in which 49 people on board were killed and 1 person on the ground killed. Those are U.S. airliners. It's been a remarkable record, but honestly, you should give President Bush credit for that. You should give President Obama credit for that. This has been going back for years and years and years. It is the FAA and the NTSB, as well as the airliners around the world, that have really come together, along with the big aircraft makers, to make safety a major priority. But I've talked to people within the aviation safety community and the government within the past 2 hours in the United States, and they have said this administration has forwarded no proposals as it relates to aviation safety, has made no new protocols and no procedures that advance safety. This has been a culture that has been going on for a long time.
Then let's stay on exactly that, because it's hard to find, to your point, any evidence that President Trump and his administration have been, quote, very strict, as he wrote, on commercial aviation. If anything, he promised to loosen regulations. And I want to share what what President Trump told airline executives during a meeting at the White House last February. Watch this.
We have an obsolete plane system. We have obsolete airports. We have obsolete trains. We have bad roads. We're going to change all of that, folks. So you're going to be so happy with Trump. I think you already are. So we want to help you realize these goals by rolling back burdensome regulations, and you people are regulated probably as much as almost anybody, although I can think of a couple of industries that are even worse.
So he promised to roll back regulations. Square that off with regulations which are there to protect people, and President Trump's claims saying, "You're welcome, America. You were all safe last year, thanks to me."
Well, he kind of muddled the waters a little bit there, because it is true, if you talk to virtually everybody on all sides of the aisle, the infrastructure in America needs a very big overhaul, and airports are a part of that. But it is also true that one very big reason, if not the biggest reason, that we have seen such a good safety record in the United States, and for that matter around the world in terms of aviation, is because of strict regulations in place to ensure pilot rest, to ensure that aircraft are regularly inspected, aircraft engines are maintained. I mean, there is a long, long list built on decades upon decades of aviation safety in this country and accidents, and learning from those accidents and putting in place regulations to avoid a repeat of those accidents. So we've had a remarkable run. But as you know, there's always the risk that something could happen tomorrow. You can never eliminate the human factor. That's always a constant risk. But we had 4 billion passengers with a B last year globally, 4 billion on 38 million flights. It is a remarkable safety record, and no one individual gets credit for that. That is the result of years, decades of hard work from everybody involved.